and you can quote this on me. There is no way the Orioles or Red Sox make the playoffs this season. There's no way. There's no way.
I set the bar really low at the NBA predictions.
I don't think all Mavs fans look into the stats like I do.
It's not the Great Value Target brand toilet paper or whatever. It's the Charmin Ultra Strong.
I don't know if Nick Nurse is the coach for the Raptors. I don't know if he's the reason why they won the 2019 championship. I feel like that was more of a team effort.
The Mavs cannot say we do not miss Seth Curry shooting threes.
This questions the firing of Dwayne Casey, who I think is a very underrated coach.
To me, the Capitals really pushed all their chips for this season.
Hello, I'm Mike Grimes, and you've been listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. I am Kevin, and I am joined by the man that your team dominated this team at the beginning and caused a lot of controversy with torpedo bats, Austin. But the Brewers have been on an incredible run. Their next game isn't until Friday, which they got a nice little break. They are 10 straight wins. Also, I was reading their it's really fantastic because it seems like every year we're like, they traded a lot of guys. It's just not going to work for them anymore. They lost Willy Adames to the Giants this offseason, but especially since June 1st, the Brewers are 45-16.
Yeah, and they've actually won 12 straight. You kind of undersold.
Okay,
yeah, they won today as we're right before we recorded. In their offense, their pitching, everything has just been amazing. I've been extremely impressed with how consistent they've been, and I really do think they're the team to beat. It's not particularly close between them and anyone else. They're about 6 games up on Toronto and 7 games up on Detroit in the AL, which is a pretty wide margin. And their ability to just destroy teams that are not on their playing field is kind of amazing. Their run differential is the highest in the MLB by a very, very large margin. The next closest team, so theirs is plus 159. The next closest is Chicago at 113, which is a 46 run difference. So between those two. So they've been destroying teams, and I've been extremely impressed. Their pitching has somehow gotten better after getting rid of guys in recent years like Corbin Burns and Devin Williams. They just continue to have great pitchers.
And speaking of that, with the trade, Devin Williams trade, they got Nestor Cortez, and they traded Nestor Cortez at the trade deadline for basically not a lot. And it is impressive. Just they really are one of those teams. I say it whenever we talk about developing pitching talent. That's what the Brewers do. And now they have hitting, which is pretty impressive. They were always good hitting, but you mentioned their run differential. I also read a stat that said they are second in batting average, second in on-base percentage, and 5th in slugging percentage since June began. And one thing is, you talk about trading guys, Aaron Civale was traded for Andrew Vaughn. I think it was just these guys aren't working out at either place. Andrew Vaughn with the White Sox. Since he joined the Brewers, he's slashing .340, .404, and .630 with 8 homers in 28 games. It is really impressive just how they're just becoming a developmental factory, even for guys that like Andrew Vaughn.
Yeah, their pitching is even more amazing. Of guys that have at least, we'll go 6 starts, I mean, everybody has been amazing. Freddie Peralta, 2.9 ERA. Quinn Priester, 3.49 ERA. Jose Quintana, 3.44. Chad Patrick, 3.52. Jacob Mizorowski, 2.7, even though he's on the IL. Logan Henderson, who's also on the IL, 1.78. Brandon Woodruff, who's finally back and healthy, 2.29 in 6 starts. And in their bullpen, Trevor McGill at 2.2. Abner Uribe at 1.92. Nick Mears at 2.68. I mean, their ERA is just amazing across the board. They have some of the best pitching along with amazing hitting. And I've been thoroughly impressed by William Contreras, who leads their team in, or second on their team in WAR. For a catcher to be hitting as well as he is pretty remarkable. especially that he's still a positive catcher. And then you have their best OPS plus is Isaac Collins, who has 2.8 WAR this year. He's been very good. They're just consistent across the board. Of their entire team who starts and has played at least 80 games, only two players does not have at least 2 WAR. Those being Joey Ortiz and Rhys Hoskins. And Rhys Hoskins is still has a 116 OPS plus. It's really just Joey Ortiz who is the only player who's played at least 80 games to have an OPS plus below 100. So below league average. They have one below league average hitter who's playing that much. And like you said, Andrew Vaughn, who's really has more WAR than Rhys Hoskins in only 27 games with the ball club, has been amazing. 193 OPS plus, a OPS above 1,000. I've been extremely impressed. Caleb Durbin's another guy. He's a rookie this year. Very impressive. 2.3 WAR. I just can't speak enough about how well their defense is, how well their pitching is, and obviously how well their hitting is. They just destroy a lot of teams that they go against with just overpowering them with every facet of the game. I mean, bullpen, starting pitching, infield, outfield, catching, everything is just high marks. And that's why I do think they're the best team in the MLB and the team to beat.
Yeah, so that's something I'm interested because team to beat right now, yes. But getting to the playoffs, I think it's an entirely different ballgame. But they're a team that constantly continues to play well in the regular season, and they're doing it now. So I can see them winning their division and having the best record in baseball. But to me, I'm not sure how that affects them in the postseason because they need players that have gone through the postseason before together. To me, that is very important in playoff success.
I don't know because the Rangers didn't have any of that.
That's true. You do bring up a good point.
And
I think
don't know if they've ever had a
that
team
did it. Well, they really only
Sure.
had one guy that did it.
Yeah, I was about to say. Oh, if you include pitching, you had Chapman, who had won a World Series with the Cubs. Evaldi. Yeah, so sure. But Scherzer. But they've never really had a team that is this good, in my opinion. If you go win-loss percentage this year with the Brewers, this is their highest mark ever. This is their best season ever. The most wins they've ever had in the season was in 2011 with 96. They were 96 and 66 that season. But they never had a win percentage above 60%. I don't think we've seen a Brewers team at this level. And I think when you are at this level, that breeds confidence. And even in the playoffs, they're going to have home field advantage for the entirety of the playoffs if you do get the best record. And they are on that stretch right now. I think a team at this level, I do really think, is the best team in baseball. The Dodgers have really fallen through. I don't know how I feel about the Blue Jays and the Tigers. And while the Phillies, I do think, are impressive and do have still a good, they're 7-3 in their last 10. I think the Brewers are the team to beat. I mean, there's no holes in their team. I mean, they have a few guys that maybe you want a better player here or there, but across the board, they are extremely impressive.
Yeah, really impressive, and they've shown that with their record, and I don't see this stopping right now. Of course, they'll lose a game, but with just what they've done since June, 45-16, that's impressive, and I think they keep that upward trajectory, and we'll see what happens in the playoffs. Make sure you're following us for the playoffs, and let us know what you think. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.